Ascended, is it all over? Player numbers the lowest they've possibly been, and Minecraft-like paid-for MTX skins coming to ARK. Is it really all doom and gloom for the ARK franchise? Let's get into it. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So, Community Crunch 394 dropped over the weekend. Apologies, I'm very late to the game. I had to move house and all that jazz. And we were enlightened with the simple game framework. I love the use of the word simple. I think this is anything but regarding skins and what's happening to them in the world of ARK Survival Ascended. If you caught my news video last weekend, it appears that we're getting player user generated skins. You make what you want for your players, structures, and seemingly whatever in the world of ARK. Now, Wildcard fed us a bunch of information detailing how this is going to work. And gotta be honest, like many of you out there, this went way over my head. A lot of jargon fed to us that I made very little sense of. Break it down, man. I don't have that many brain cells. I need to understand what this means. But in understanding eventually what this meant, it appears you will see these custom cosmetic mods on official servers, but will be moderated by Wildcard and Overwolf, who control all the mods and that for ARK Survival Ascended very, very vigorously to avoid any exploity or naughty images looking at you trying to draw a big PP on people's backs. And opens up a wave of opportunities, very much like Minecraft do their skins. You can now go and make whatever you want to make your person look however they look, and it goes way beyond that. In giving us some examples, Wildcard showed off a clean glass wall. That's right, it appears Structures Plus in some form or other, seeing that the dev from that is now working for Studio Wildcard, is looking like it's coming to official clean glass walls. A very cool, useful mechanic in ARK, especially in PvP, being able to see outside your bases and people not being able to see into your bases. Very surprised this is coming, though I guess in a cosmetic form, perhaps this will work well. I don't know. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see what that's all about. Disco beats, lampposts, anyone, and tic-tac-toe for your tables, as some demonstrations Wildcard are offering. Now, pretty much everybody that's covered this over the weekend has all been saying three simple letters that have certainly spurred the community into some outrage. That is MTX. To those of you that don't know what MTX means, it simply means microtransactions, usually referring to small boosts or cosmetics you might buy for games. So again, not unlike what you've seen with Minecraft, Fortnite, or any other game out there that does skins, MTX, microtransactions, probably could be a good high possibility, especially with Overwolf having to moderate these and make sure nothing naughty gets fed through. Time's being spent on moderation, therefore it's possible that, yeah, there could be prices for these, or there could not be, right? The fact is, we don't know yet. We don't know exactly what these are going to look like, how they're going to be used, and how much they could be. And if they possess a monetary value, it does certainly beg the question in an early access title with already paid for expansion packs to maps. Is this a bit too much, a bit too greedy, a bit too much for you and me to be paying for at all? And I'm possibly inclined to agree. We know Jeremy mentioned in the extra live stream last year that they really want their whole team focused on ARK Survival Ascended, and monetary opportunities help them to stay focused on this remastered version of ARK Survival Evolved. But you know me, I like to keep things happy and cheerful, and I see a lot of opportunities with this. It's so early days to develop a real standpoint on should we be happy about this or not, because we don't know if any of these are going to be paid for yet. There's certainly some great possibilities. I look forward to seeing glass mazes being built for people to be trapped in, and any manner of crazy concoctions that will be cooked up, delivered in a kind of modded format. Again, Wildcard, this information is not clear on what we're to expect on how these are being managed. They seem to be client side. We'll have to see if this is in the modder's corner or not. I've already seen a few modders, mod map makers already talking about their mod maps having some monetary value, modded paid for maps. Maps like Svartalfheim and the upcoming Kaluga's Appalachia map do seem that they are going down the route of being paid for map mods. And I do feel a small bit of a concern with this in reading those words that they are now going to be paid for. You have to pay to play these modded maps. I did feel an inkling of doubt of, will these be successful as a result? Now, don't get me wrong, the quality of these are wonderful, maps like this. And, you know, these people spend a lot of time to build these. They should certainly get paid. They should certainly get rewarded for the time that they put into these. But I am worried, could this mean a even bigger diversion of people who are playing these maps, and would the gain be enough for these modders? Would too many people feel disgruntled on a price point for these mods and never buy them at all? I'm a bit worried, I'm not going to lie, and combined with the possibility of MTX skins, it definitely is a concern on too many monetization options within ARK to possibly dilute a community playing it at all, because there's a lot of news about that as well. Community people playing ARK Ascended. The lowest amount of people playing it ever. Apparently went below 10k. I was informed on Steam, though, looking at this chart here, doesn't say 10k. I heard it had its lowest count. I think this is the average count, isn't it? I'd seen that we went below 10k players for ARK Survival Ascended, something we've never seen for ARK Survival Evolved, and good grief, it seems to still be plummeting when you look at these charts. A lot of people are saying, well, this is what happens when you split your community. What did you expect? But honestly, I see this as a combination of people frankly getting bored of ARK in its current state, the content, the island. Whilst it's a great, awesome, cool looking new version of the island, it's still many players that played it time and time again in ARK Survival Evolved. And it doesn't matter how much polish it can have. Once you've sampled all of that content, it's done. That time that we spent with the island prior, and perhaps what the developers were hoping for, that we had a lot of time with just the island back in ARK Survival Evolved. We don't need it with ARK Survival Ascended, because that time was spent learning the game, waiting for dinos to drop, and it all came to experienced ARK players that knew the island through and through. So once we'd sampled the entirety of the map, that's it. We're done. We're ready and waiting for content. Seemingly why the centre's being rushed out for the end of Feb. Additionally, of course, the most played Steam game ever that's as close to ARK as it possibly can be. In fact, definitely borrowing some elements from ARK. Palworld, a lot of people are playing that at the moment, and Enshrouded that came out last weekend. Combine those three things together, people getting bored, those two games, it makes sense. I'm not surprised to see it dip so much recently. However, it's not as bad as it seems. Whilst we can't take into account single player stats for console, we can at least look at server stats via battle metrics, and it's not that bad. It's an average of 41k players playing on servers across all platforms, with a peak of 54k. So not quite the 10k though. If you go back a couple of days, it was getting there. So not quite the 10k it seemed to be, though it wasn't too far off, I guess, when you look at the battle metrics stats, and does appear to be on a bit more of an incline, though we'll see how this week performs. Many people have been playing these competitor games for a while now, myself included. Might have a gameplay vid coming out soon, and you know, I get what this is doing right, and combined with ARK players yearning for some content that perhaps modded content just isn't quite there yet for them, this thing came along, combined with the popularity of Pokemon taking the world by storm. Good grief, though I don't think it's as bad as it seems to be. That's what I'm trying to get at. Modded content is looking better than ever. Another trailer was given to us of what's just been released. A bunch of really cool, awesome looking dinos, chibis, and even a football game mode. But I get the doubt from many people, and I'm with you there. The next 2 months especially could really spell what ARK Ascended's future looks like. We've got the Centre at the end of Feb. We've got Scorched Earth the following month, at the end of the following month apparently. And I think with those 3 maps combined and this modded content, we might see what these premium DLC level mods have been worked on by third-party studios are actually what they are. And together with cross transfers, which is meant to happen imminently, though the devs haven't said a thing at the moment, should possibly offer a decent enough size content piece, though with the overwhelming look of extra things to pay for, like the Scorched Earth pack and now potentially skins. The next 2 months, I think, are probably the most important months for ARK Survival Ascended's future and what happens following that. Me, myself, you know, I'm a big ARK fan. I'm still an ARK fan. I love this game and I want to see it succeed. I want to see the polish that it deserves. The devs are very aware it still needs that. Very convinced now more than ever that the release date for ARK Survival Ascended that we got was forced upon the team to rush out for then, and I think they definitely weren't ready to drop it when they did. Nevertheless, when the bugs get eventually fixed, could this mean a good, prosperous future for ARK Survival Ascended? What's happening with the animated TV series? Is ARK 2 now out of the picture? It really feels like it is. You know, if all the team are now being pushed onto ARK Survival Ascended, who's working on ARK 2 now? But I digress. End of March. Let's see how ARK's performing then. I think that's going to be the real prime time then. So until then, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, peace out.